CES 2020 saw the announcement of the Asus 360Hz refresh rate monitor done in partnership with Nvidia. We spoke about this previously, but is it really worth it? I think you may be missing something that they don't generally talk about, so let's see what that is. Hey guys, Tiago here with Classical Technology. Thank you for joining me again for another video. If you like my content, please subscribe, smash that like button, leave a comment below. I want to know what type of monitor you're using. So as we saw earlier in the week, Asus, along with Nvidia, announced their new 360Hz refresh rate monitors. Now, we have 240Hz refresh rate monitors. These are pretty common now. 144Hz, of course, is sort of like the gold standard. And then you have a couple of monitors filling in the gaps between 100 and 120Hz. These are generally going to be like ultra-wide monitors. And then, of course, you have your plain old 60Hz monitor. So is a 360Hz monitor really worth it, or is it marketing jumbo? And what are we missing here? I think there's something that we're missing that they don't quite tell you, that a lot of you may be a little bit disappointed in. So let's discuss what that is. That's going to be the image quality. Now, the fastest refresh rate monitors, the 240Hz monitors that are available today, I have the BenQ 2546XL, which is one of the best 240Hz monitors that you can get. I've also tried the Alienware version as well as the Asus version. They're all pretty similar panels. One thing that they have in common, aside from their 240Hz refresh rate and their 1 millisecond response, is sort of the really poor everyday picture quality. Now, TN panels definitely do not have the colors of like a nice IPS panels, but when you introduce an IPS panel, they're generally going to be around the 4 millisecond response rate, so they're not as fast as these monitors, meaning that for really competitive gamers, they generally avoid these type of panels. Now, there have been some recent monitors that have both high refresh rates and IPS panels and slow 1 millisecond refresh rates announced recently, but these are still very new, so we have to wait a while before we really make a judgment on them. So the image quality of a TN panel, it just generally isn't very good visually. You're really paying a big price in terms of visuals for that sort of really high performance. Yes, 240Hz compared to 60Hz is a tremendous difference. You'll notice it in Windows. You're going to notice it in fast-paced games, no doubt about it. As you step up to 144Hz, you can still notice things, especially if you're a very avid or professional gamer, but it definitely is diminishing returns at that point. 240Hz to 360Hz without any other really new technology to change the way the monitor works, that's kind of a crapshoot. You may notice a slight difference. You probably won't notice too big of a difference, but you're definitely going to notice how flat these panels look generally, at least the 240Hz. Now, I haven't seen the 360Hz in person yet, but these high refresh rate panels using TN panels, I mean, the only way they're going to get that fast is by using a TN panel, and that's going to give you more of a washed out look than if they used an IPS panel. If you've ever played on a 4K 144Hz HDR monitor like the Asus or Acer version, you'll see what a really beautiful monitor looks like. I mean, the colors are absolutely vibrant, everything pops. Of course, these are going to have a 4 millisecond response rate, which is no good for a professional gamer, and they're not going to match the 240Hz of a TN panel. But for your everyday usability, you're getting a lot more out of it. So when Asus and Nvidia hype up a 360Hz monitor as that being the main selling point, yes, you are getting that tremendous speed, but professional gamers are a very small fraction. And one could even argue that the difference between a professional gamer playing on 144Hz and 360Hz is going to be a very, very minor advantage. And even if you're an expert but home gamer, not necessarily into esports or professionals, if they want the best monitor and sacrifice image quality, that's fine. That's sort of a very small niche, I'm okay with that. But if you're not necessarily a professional gamer, but you are a very avid gamer and you love these high refresh rate monitors, I still think you're going to be missing out on the visuals. I would prefer to get an IPS panel that's maybe 144Hz, 165Hz. You're going to get a much better look if it's your only monitor. Now, for a while, I was okay with the 240Hz monitor because it was my second monitor. I was using the 4K HDR monitor as my main monitor, so that gave me all the juicy graphics and details that I could really ask for. And then when I wanted to switch over and get extreme performance, I would go to the 240 hertz, but having them side by side, I would always notice how the TN panel, it was just a night and day difference. It just looked washed out. Nothing was pretty on it at all. Even if you tune it a little bit, the colors on any of those 240 hertz panels aren't that great, and I doubt the 360 hertz is really going to be much better because they're not really going from image quality here. They're going for pure performance. So my question is, you have to balance out pure performance with image visibility and sort of the nice colors you're going to get from your monitor. If you're a professional gamer, then yeah, get the fast panel. If you can get two monitors, then sure, get an extreme one and then get one that looks pretty. That's what I did for a long time, and that, you know, that works fine. But if you're only getting one monitor and you do other things aside from gaming, I don't really think these 360 hertz monitors are very attractive, to be honest. They're just not going to look as great. I'd rather step down a little bit and refresh rate. You're barely going to notice it, but you can up the image quality tremendously. All right, guys, thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe if you enjoy my content. Leave a comment below. I want to know if you'd prefer an IPS panel or a little bit more washed out TN panel with higher refresh rates. And I'll see you guys on the next video.